Good evening, YB gang. Alright, you can talk again, Muhammad.
Too busy eating fries.
You know how it is. Well, let me bring the audio back in.
That's the thumbnail?
Let me start streaming. Here we go. What's the word, gang? You know what's going on, Burgers?
Oh no, I'm not done yet.
Like, I'm done? Okay.
Um,
You gotta pay attention to this for a couple of minutes.
They kicked everybody out of the room. Cool.
Exactly. Yeah, we chased them out. No, it was like, so who was it? It was,
Maria and the servants, pretty much.
Yeah, it was Genji,
Or I guess
Kumasawa.
Nanjo, your servant, but
yeah. Nanjo, Genji, Kumasawa, and Maria. And Maria was like, ooh, I'm gonna go watch One Piece.
the battler gave her the charm.
Yeah,
like an
yeah,
idiot.
he did.
Like, I don't know, he was looking out for like number like 12 instead of looking out for number 1.
Right, he should have put it on the door. And then, like, of course, when Beatrice walks in, you already know.
I'll blow your goddamn head smooth off.
Exactly.
Not that I burped, guys.
Come on, man. Now the YB gang's gonna be like, uh-oh, Stinky.
Yeah. Yeah, but now there is no charm, so Beatrice just comes in and is like...
Yeah. Exactly. She's gonna kill him. Well, let's see what happens next. Stop laughing like that, Muhammad.
Some innocence among them.
Among
We still did it.
Oh.
We chased them out of this paradise.
They went to the new world.
No. Where people don't have to suspect each other.
Suspect each other.
I love the little special emojis they give us access to. That's so cool.
But our motive for chasing them out was suspicion of one person towards another, the worst kind of crime for a human. If we had accepted the existence of a 19th person, of the witch, then we all might still be talking face to face, trusting in each other.
That's true.
Never
No,
really
real
knew how
recognizes real.
In that instant, we had agreed to chase out all of the suspicious people. But had that been the right thing to do?
No.
During this endless silence, we could do nothing but be quietly tormented by that sin.
No, that's facts.
And so we faced the door without letting go of her rifle for even an instant, sitting far back in the sofa.
Just sitting back like a gangster with a shotgun across her lap.
Like James Bond tied up in the chair next to me.
Yeah.
She would probably spend the night staring at the door without a wink of sleep.
Oh, bad.
George Anarchy gazed through a gap in the closed curtains by the window, looking down at the courtyard and the mansion that surrounded it. Why is it so loud?
On your phone, that close to
Oh my god.
Hello? Woohoo! Yeah!
Congratulations on 19 years of life.
I appreciate the warm welcome into the 19th year.
Forgot it's 12 where you are now.
I gotta say, it was a glorious moment. I gotta thank all my fans. If it wasn't for the YB gang, if it wasn't for the Dustman fan base, I wouldn't be where I am, I think. Thank you.
What are you saying?
Huh?
I genuinely cannot decipher what you're saying. All I heard was... I was
Why are they crying?
Look, real recognizes real, okay?
I don't think it's you. I think it might be
Tell your friend they're very
a
mean, and I wish them the
That's
best.
true. T-Mobile sometimes is an art, but you know how it is.
My fault for the this. I just
Did you like go into the mic to cough?
Well, in any case, I guess it's 12:01 now, so you know what that means.
I know exactly.
Dustman,
Huh.
it's a cash app. I'm gonna send you.
Alright, thank you. I appreciate it. I expect to receive $100,000 cash in the mail.
I'm not sending you $100,000 in cash in the mail.
And he's talking about it again.
No.
Yeah. I think it was Eddie, yeah. And no, I know what you're saying. It was a travesty, but a good thing Eddie's a chill guy. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Alright, thank you. It's like there's two. It's like it would be a good morning if I was fishing, but even if I'm not fishing, it's still a good morning.
Got a good point.
It's true.
Thank you. Morning now.
Good night.
Bad night. 5 minutes of 30s.
Muhammad,
Huh?
you don't have any authority over me anymore.
See, I'm out here
Sure.
saying like I would give you a birthday. I was trying to give you a birthday gift. Maybe mean.
What you mean?
I was asking you to cash out.
You were the one telling me to have a bad morning.
That's true.
Sorry, bro, but I don't think I'm gonna go fishing. I'm pretty sure the crocodiles ate all the fish. The trout population was deeply impacted in Florida due to the crocodiles. You gotta take care of them. You gotta do something about them.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about?
Anyway, it's like the New Year's meme, you know, 11:59, staring at the computer, 12 o'clock, blowing the trumpet, 12:01, back to the grind. Ben, I've gotten tired of Ben. We gotta get off this screen already.
I didn't know whether he was checking to see if a suspicious shadow would become visible through the window, or whether he was wondering to himself about something. No. He's gonna see a shadow, and then it's gonna be like Ben but based.
He's gonna like scare himself because he's scared of
Like
his own shadow.
he's gonna be like, "You're not me," and then he's gonna like deny it.
It's like the shadow's gonna like rip himself off from Ben and become his own person.
Exactly. Jessica was sitting sideways on the sofa next to Natsu with a dead expression on her face. Ah, come on.
What, she want to die or something?
And every once in a while, as though she just remembered something, she'd take out the inhaler she had used during her asthma attack and stick it in her mouth. I just heard it from Aniki, but apparently Jessica liked Cannon Kun.
He went out like a real champ too.
It was apparently so vague that she hadn't realized it herself.
Oh well, she was like the #1 person like standing by him when he died.
Yeah. You know. It's the kind of thing other people tend to spot before the person in question realizes it. Which means she might have first learned of her feelings when the person she liked died.
Skill issue.
Must have been so terrible, so sad.
Skill issue.
Come to think of it, Kun was the one who handed her that inhaler.
Was not because of Newton's law of universal attraction. It seems that they have a mutual bond.
Tell Battler to call him a nerd. You know what I mean? It's pretty funny.
Maybe she was remembering that. I was fishing around Grandfather's study, thinking I'd research the meaning of the magic circle on the letter's second sheet. Even though we were shut up here in a defensive position, my rebellious nature made me want to find some key, some way to resist. After all, we've got plenty of time before tomorrow morning. Who could fault me for how I used that time? No one else showed that much interest in this magic circle. Its meaning was unknown, and once we understood it, we were sure to find some message that would cause us unnecessary anguish. I felt the same way. However, I couldn't just ignore it, so I killed time by going through the motions of researching it.
Where was the magic circle?
Oh, right, it was in the envelope that, like, mysteriously appeared. They'd only looked at the one letter that was inside. There was also a magic circle, and they didn't look at it.
Oh, I see.
And that was after they kicked everybody out, they realized.
Right.
So they couldn't ask Maria.
Right, okay. You sure are enthusiastic. Did you find anything that might serve as a hint?
Not a thing.
I think when it comes to Ben, I've just decided to guide myself based off of the sprite they use. Like, you see how, like, they have, like, the...
like the eyes are apart sprite.
Yeah, they have, like, the goofy, happy-go-lucky Ben sprite right here. But, like, sometimes they have, like, the cool and collected 4D chess Ben, you know?
I know before. I would say, like, 2D chess.
That's true. Wait, 2D?
It's 2D chess. The first tough part is finding a book written in Japanese. Just how many languages could Grandfather read? He's incredible. Well, he was incredible.
Womp womp. Tired, bad luck, you should take a rest while someone else stays awake. That's an indicator that Ben is the murderer. If he wants him to go to sleep, so he can stab
That's
him.
true. He's gonna kill everybody.
Aunt Nutsy said she'd stay up all night for us, but there's no way her body can handle it.
He's saying that right in front of
We
her.
should take turns sleeping. She's gonna blow his head smooth off. It's like you underestimate me, boy.
Then you sleep first, Aniki. I'll keep researching till I get sleepy.
I am so
Why he's so
very
easy.
sleepy. You mean that magic circle just now?
But yeah. We've got plenty of time to kill. I thought it'd be interesting to find out what kind of message Beatrice Sama put in it.
Oh shit, he's praising her name.
He's just saying the message might be interesting.
No, but he called her Beatrice Sama. Like,
Nice guy.
a guy like me, I would just call her Beatrice Note. But
I don't know what that means.
that's like the antiquated formal greeting. It's like saying San, but in the old days.
Oh, you're like calling her an old head?
Yeah, exactly. I'm calling her like an aunt, but she's an aunt. But aunt doesn't work, so it's like she's like a female aunt. But yeah, I mean, I think what's his name, Battler might actually be the murderer because he says he has plenty of time to kill, you know?
Oh, shit, you're right.
It's like, he just has so much time to go around killing people.
You have to read between the lines.
Exactly, it's right
He's
there.
got plenty of time to kill? Like, what?
Like, Badler the murderer? He's been tricking the reader this whole time.
Disintegration. I love this.
Honestly, like if it's done well, I really like when stories do that. It's obviously not the case here, but it is based when it's just like the protagonist was the murderer the whole time.
I was murdering them in my sleep.
I mean, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is actually a really, really good book. But it's like, it's such a classic and overused example that it loses its weight. It was a really good book. Give it a rest.
Muhammad, like, come on.
Oh yeah, Muhammad, you gotta read this line.
Give it a rest! Mess around with stuff like that and you'll end up getting possessed by something weird.
She would say that. Don't worry. I've been certified by Maria.
This is a certified hood classic.
It's not a certified hood classic.
She said I've got no spiritual talent at all.
Oh, true. Okay, but why does Muhammad know how to do the Jessica voice 100%?
Because I've heard her very often.
That's
Not sure who's saying this.
The nice little videos you guys sent. I've heard her very often.
Yeah.
Were we too cruel to Maria?
We'll find out who
Badler
sings
says.
it. Jessica, you mustn't think that now.
Oh, it is Jessica.
Muhammad.
Huh?
It's your turn.
Oh, sorry, I'm playing something.
But Mom! If Maria wasn't involved, there's a culprit beside her. Then she's obviously a soft target for the murder. If she's killed because of this, then we've just left her to die.
A gloomy silence settled once again. It looked like Jessica regretted letting her emotions take hold of her and snapping at Maria. She's always been like that. Always acting tough and regretting it later.
I understand how you feel, but Maria was in close contact with the culprit. And she might have had some siding with them, talking like that over and over to confuse matters. I am relieved that we chased them out.
That's pretty harsh, Aunt Matsui. Couldn't it just have been the nonsense of a 9-year-old girl?
9-year-old?
It probably wasn't very convincing to hear that coming from me. I myself thought Maria was creepy on several occasions, even doubting her true nature. And when Maria was chased out of this room, I couldn't deny I felt some relief.
Dude.
If that is the case,
that's weird.
Tomorrow we will apologize for what we did. What, to corpses?
Yeah, to corpses.
I will take full responsibility for chasing them out of this room. To skeletons? This isn't something the rest of you have to worry about.
I could feel a tragic determination in Aunt Natsui's words.
Hey, give me a second.
Okay. I got some cookies. What kind of cookies?
Gamesa clásicas, florentinas, sabor fresa, con muchas de casa, galleta con relleno,
translate
sabor
it.
fresca. I'll just turn on my camera.
It's kind of hard to see. Oh, okay. Those are not cookies. What is that?
They're cookies.
These like little pies. What?
It's like, nah. My cousin gave him to me in DR. She was like, "Here you go, little cousin."
Real?
But she was surprised because I was like taller than her and had a beard. She was like, "Oh, sorry."
She got
little bro.
Yeah, she gave me 2 packets, but my grandma was hungry, so my mom gave her one of them.
Damn. Was Mima no longer hungry afterwards?
I guess.
Protect her own daughter. She had resolutely chased out the suspicious ones. And if, as a result, she had to watch the people who had unfortunately been suspected die, so be it. So based. She was prepared to take full responsibility. Why does Maria have to keep saying stuff like that?
It's important.
She's bringing about her own ruin.
I think the reason Maria-chan adores witches and magic so much might be Aunt Rosa.
Aunt Rosa? What does she have to do with this?
Didn't you realize it too, Badler-kun? Maria-chan's real father ran off somewhere a long time ago. Although Rosa tried to confuse her by saying he's on a foreign business trip. Talking about Rosa-san's family has become a kind of taboo in the Ushirimiya family. I think Aunt Rosa thought about me remarrying. But I also believe Maria-chan may have become her shackles and made that quite difficult. After all, she sometimes got really emotional and hit Maria-chan.
Oh, it's sad.
It's you, Mohammed.
Oh, hold up.
I agree with you there. It looked like Rosa was trying hard to like Maria. Which means that she didn't really like her.
Can't do that.
She might have thought of Maria as someone who stood in the way of her remarrying.
I think the emotional rejection from her mother must have left some deep scars in her young heart. So she learned about this occult hobby from somewhere and immersed herself in it to bury the holes in her heart. Did you know? To Maria-chan, the image of a witch isn't negative at all. Remember yesterday at the beach when she showed us her notebook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was full of all those fun-looking scribbles. Yesterday, when we were down by the beach doubting the witch, Maria got all riled up and started explaining about witches. And not one of the pages had shown a picture of an ugly witch. They were all brightly colored, beautiful, cute witches who looked like they were having fun. There was absolutely nothing sinister about them, like a boy might have imagined. They were beings adorned with beautiful dresses who could grant anyone's dreams with their mysterious magic and who made everyone happy. Maria felt the sorrow of not being loved by her mother. Had she sought help from witches as beings who could give her happiness and save her? Someday a witch would come, and using her wonderful magic would bring Maria happiness. Even though she believed that, as she grew older, she had to face reality as her fleeting dreams were sliced to ribbons one by one. If something claiming to be the witch of Rokujima appeared in front of a girl like that, whispering that she'd take Maria to the Golden Land where Maria could be happy,
Now that it's come to this, I want to confess what's in my heart. Throwing out Maria-chan, no, Genji-san and the rest too, was probably the wrong thing to do, I think. Mohammed.
Oh my bad, hold up.
Now that it's come to this,
No,
Last line.
it wasn't pleasant.
I like this movie.
Oh,
Oh,
that's Badler.
what is it? Wait, what?
That's thinking.
Oh, since Jessica had been the one to face them and slam them with words of rejection, her conscience must be tormenting her a lot right now.
Then how do you all explain that letter? No one could have said it there except the 4 people standing behind us. I made sure of that with my own eyes. And those 4 are innocent. How was that letter placed in the closed room with 8 people?
That's right. When you put it that way, those 4 really do seem suspicious. But it's all useless. It's all useless.
Badler's just taken to using bold to as his truth, let's speak.
Zen Zen Damida.
He doesn't realize that he has the power. Here we go. Wait, I'm not gonna post this yet.
Okay.
Who can use this bow?
What's
the point?
I'll put it on the YB gang. That's what I'll do.
Burgers?
You can look at it.
How good was Delamere as a servant as a lich?
She was pretty good.
Pretty good. It's weird. Her stuff is just like, I have no one who can use it. So it's silly like that.
Oh yeah, because for some reason, the bow that she comes with,
Is good alive.
you have to be good to use it.
Yeah, and, you know, I guess it works with Lon probably, but I didn't pick Lon.
No, Lon's neutral.
He's neutral, and so is the succubus. That's so awesome. Can you redeem the succubus and make her good? Hope so.
I think she stays neutral.
Is there a unit? Is there a single companion that changes alignment ever? Other than the succubus turning evil?
Woljif.
Oh, yeah. What does he turn into?
He turns evil.
Oh, that sounds silly. Because of the demon, I know. I always will.
There we go. Alright, that was a lot for nothing. It's all useless. Useless. What is?
Right. It might not be worth anything anymore, but let me spin the chessboard around again.
Do not let him.
In other words, if one of those 4 really was the culprit, isn't that weird?
That's Muhammad.
Oh.
That's right. Wasn't setting that letter openly on the table the same as confessing that one of them was the culprit?
I have to do the voice as well.
You're right. That's weird.
I can't do a raspy voice. I'm not a smoker.
If they were gonna do it,
Then don't do a raspy voice. Nobody asked you to.
No, everyone's asking me to. It's important. Like, do I have to remind the courtroom? Oh, wrong one. See?
I mean,
That's
it's not
true.
exactly raspy. That's just
I
like.
wouldn't say that's raspy, but yeah, it's like,
That's really raspy.
you know.
That's relatively raspy.
you're right. That's weird. If they were gonna do it, you think they put the crack on the? You think they put it in the crack on the door, for example, to make it look like someone had slipped in from the outside?
That's still you.
Yeah, no, I'm just being nice.
Of course. They should have known that they'd be suspected if they didn't make it look like the culprit was outside the room.
Yeah, that's it exactly. If the culprit was one of those 4, setting that letter right in the middle of the table would be both risky and meaningless. But, putting aside whatever trick was used to set it there, if we assume that the culprit is someone other than those four, in other words, someone who was outside the room,
Wish they changed poses.
then they had a lot to gain from that letter.
Enough, Battler Cotton. You are defeating me in argument.
He points the gun at him.
It's meaningless to discuss such matters now.
Natsui-san quickly guessed what I was getting at. No, maybe she had thought of it long before I had, and had simply held her tongue.
You better watch who you trust. You mean your teeth bite your tongue every now and then.
So true.
If the culprit's outside the room, then they'd be totally stuck the moment we shut ourselves up in a closed room like this. That's right. It's the same as my theory about how grandfather disappeared from this room, isn't it? That theory was that grandfather left the room of his own accord. If the culprit used some tactic to lure him out, and grandfather left of his own accord, then... Come to think of it, when we found the scorpion magic circle on the doorknob to the study, Maria said it herself. Beatrice couldn't get through this door. But she could induce someone to leave of their own accord.
Oh, my bad. Cabin.
Which would mean we fell for the culprit's trap completely. And sent out some new potential sacrifices.
Genji and the rest aren't fools. When they try to protect themselves, they should find the next safest place after this room.
I'm gonna use the back. Mummy back.
They will definitely be able to hide themselves there.
Aunt Natsui hadn't answered the question. Aunt Natsui herself had realized that if the culprit wasn't in her group back then, that letter would make sense as a trap. However, it wasn't worth the risk, calling back the people she had once thrown out.
It's not.
To Aunt Natsui right now, her greatest and only duty was to protect the children, minus Maria. By her thinking, in order to do that, a few sacrifices were unavoidable.
It's like Badger's flipping the chessboard around, but Natsuhi's playing the chess. She's the one moving the pieces.
Let me say something a little harsh, okay?
Oh, let me get a little based.
At that time, what if, by coincidence, Jessica had also been standing behind you? Would you have chased Jessica from the room too?
Yeah. Yup. Yup, that's not even a question. Easy peasy. I'm a very fast runner.
It's true that a lot of brutal things have happened. But as a mother, you thought you should protect your daughter no matter what. Because of that duty, you chased them out, even though you knew that you'd eventually be held responsible for it.
Okay, now I actually have to be back.
It's not like I'm condemning that, but I was just thinking about what a great mother Jessica has.
That's right. You've been dealing with these incidents since morning, and you've been pulling all of us along this whole time without losing your composure. If you were confused too, the rest of us would probably be in the culprit's grasp by now. So I think we all have to thank you. Thank you.
Go to the bathroom. So what you two are trying to say is that you want her to act as Maria's mother too? And I always thought of Maria as a real little sister and adored her. And yet, a few things happened. We got a little confused. And I've said a lot of mean things to her, hurting her. Mom, please. Let's stay together with Maria. No, everyone. There was no culprit among us.
YB game's about to get their mind blown.
The culprit in this case is the witch Beatrice, okay?
The witch Beatrice is sus.
So let's stop suspecting each other.
Or finish Umineko.
And Natsumi closed her eyes for a short while. Was she coping with her throbbing headache again, or was she thinking of something?
You are a fool. You are my precious daughter. The one I finally received a whole 12 years after I married my husband. I would become the worst kind of demon to protect you.
That was some pretty strong language at the end. She realized very well that her words were an idealized view of what a mother should be. But even so, she was strongly resolved to protect her daughter, even if she had to become a demon. But that was her guilty conscience tormenting her. Today's been so long. So many things happened in one day, and we've been driven into a corner so thoroughly. I wonder if we have the right to greet tomorrow the way we are now.
The witch Beatrice says that you will not be able to greet tomorrow. That's my excuse to save. But
There it is.
jackpot, comment big win on this video for a chance to win $100,000 cash.
I found it.
The One Piece.
It's this magic
Oh
circle.
no way! He commented big win and he won.
Inside the book I'd been flipping through, I had found the same magic circle that had been drawn on the second sheet of the letter.
I'm glad that
That's just like pure battery luck. What?
A book
Like,
labeled
how did he
magic
find that?
circles and it was written in Japanese.
He found the exact one.
That's awesome. Dude, Badler's based. Like,
George on
hasn't
it
even gone to
peered
sleep.
at it as well. This magic circle's name was the third magic circle of Mars. The Hebrew written on it was from Psalms 77, verse 13 of the Old Testament. What God is so great as our God? The meaning of the magic circle was discord. Agitate internal divisions and cause the enemy to bring about their own downfall.
Oh, I see. Beatrice was one playing the 3D chess. Oh, now Badler's really mad.
Wait a sec. Seriously?
He's like, you gotta be kidding me.
could there be a more fitting way to describe our current situation and mental states?
This guy accidentally commented Big Boss.
We couldn't help but be stunned into silence. So, this letter was a trap?
It's a trap.
How did they place it here?
I placed it there.
There wasn't anyone in this room except the 8 of us, right?
Nah, they aren't talking about Lakitu.
Anyway, let's ignore how they got it in here for now. The culprit was after just one thing. They wanted to spread the seeds of doubt inside this impregnable room and use us to throw the sacrificial sheep out.
Even if they try to go get them now, they're all dead.
Yeah.
In that case, they're after the people who went out of the room.
But Mom, what should we do?
You're gonna see Natsuki sitting there with like the straight face, like, well, I guess some people had to die.
Those 4 are in danger.
I'm so very contemplative. I guess contemplate.
It wasn't surprising that Aunt Natsuri remained unpleasantly silent. Even if this was all a trap by the culprit, even if the 4 who had been chased out of the room were in danger, it had nothing to do with the safety of the 4 people in here, real. And there was no way to prove the innocence of the 4 people we chased out. If we're willing to let them die, then we shouldn't leave this room, no matter what. That way is safest.
That's true. That's only if you're willing to let them die.
At that time, suddenly, the piercing sound of a phone rang through the room.
Oh, getting a phone call. Oh, wait. What's that one phone?
Wait, did you actually get a phone call?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the Samsung ringtone. That's not the one. I keep getting ads.
He's gonna leave this guy hanging?
Hey, that's not the one. I gotta find it.
That's the alarm.
Well, I don't know what it's called.
It was the antique extension phone set on the table in grandfather's study. It had rung right after we started talking about the letter being a trap. It was natural we'd think of it as an SOS from the ones we'd chased out. But then Aunt Natsui spoke. And now you actually are getting a call.
That's what I was looking for. Why a phone call? The phones should be broken down and unusable.
That doesn't matter. If that's Maria calling for help,
The problem with the phones was the culprits weren't in the first place. And this call is probably...
with that one sentence, the ring of the phone, which had once sounded like a scream for help, now started to sound like a ghastly lure from some unknown person. And Natsui hesitated over whether to pick up the receiver. So I did.
Pick up the phone, baby.
Pick up the phone.
Let's pick it up, Aunt Nozuhi. See, Ben is like the voice of the people right here. I would pick it up. He's the
He's
voice
waiting
of the
like
people. Like he's
Beatrice
like,
is waiting for this to pick up like for so long.
yeah, no, the thing is that Ben is like a beta. He's unsure of himself. Like,
That's true.
Badler is the kind of guy to just reach in and pick it up, you know?
I really thought that was gonna happen. Like, I was expecting the very next scene after it started ringing. It was
This guy
just like,
sucks.
hello?
The phones might have been fixed for some reason. It could still be an urgent call from Maria-chan and the rest.
That's right, Benarly. And if it actually is a call from the culprit, then bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Why don't we listen to what they've got to say?
See, that's what it does with the gas
Just
sometimes.
pick up the phone call.
Pick up the phone, baby.
No matter what they babble through the receiver, it's not like it's gonna hurt you
No,
until
that-
they
that-
you
that-
abracadabra and
they-
then
they-
like the phone blows up.
You said it better than I would have. Literally. As Metrio Sintos. It's like a little bomb.
If you don't pick it up, then I will.
There it is. I will take it. Hello.
I stretched out my hand to take the receiver, but Matsui grabbed it before I could reach. We all held our breath, trying to figure out who the person on the other end of the phone was. But for a while, Aunt Natsui kept saying, hello. A silent phone call.
Oh, come on, man. A prank caller at this time.
There's no way Maria and the others would do something so creepy. Yes, there is. Which means, could this phone call possibly really be...
What if Genji's just so old he forgot to talk, you know? Or Nanja. Nanja's older, I think. And Maria's just playing a prank.
Natsui stopped repeating hello and strained her ears. Because she thought she heard something far away on the other end of the receiver.
Uh-oh, I think I know what she heard.
What was that?
Hold on. Is someone singing? Now that is creepy. What do you mean, singing? I don't know. Faintly from the other end of the phone, I could hear someone singing. I wonder what it could be.
Give it here for a sec. Hello. I half forced the receiver from the stunned Aunt Natsui's hand and pressed it against my ear. At first, I didn't hear anything. But, because I had been told about it beforehand, I noticed. It sounded far away from the receiver, rather than someone speaking in a quiet voice. And it sounded like a girl singing a song. That voice did sound like Maria's, but that just made the situation even more inexplicable. At the very least, the one who had made the phone call hadn't been Maria. After all, Maria was singing some song far away from the receiver. In that case, the one who made the phone call should have been Genji-san, Masao-san, or Dr. Nanja. And yet, they weren't saying anything. Why? For what reason? The person who made this phone call. Who was it? Hey! Someone has fallen into the river in Lego City. Hello? Who is it? Answer me. Is that Maria singing? Answer me. Whoa, what's happening? What is it? I don't know. All I can say is, this is probably a trap, and Maria's in trouble.
I think the trap is that Maria's in trouble. It's not an and, it is.
And Natsui took the receiver again, but after yelling into it several more times, she realized that she wasn't getting anywhere and hung up. After that, she dialed quickly. Then she clicked her tongue.
Why'd she do that?
Right, the phones are working. We should be able to reach the police. Well, judging by Aunt Natsui's reaction, the outside telephone line still didn't connect.
Let's go. Even if we know it might be a trap, we have to go. This is why Ben dies first. I'm surprised he's lasted this
What do you
long.
mean? Yeah, he's not died first at all.
Yeah, but it's like, if this was a horror movie, he would have died first, you know?
That's true.
Classic horror movie where it's like a gang of kids, and they're like, hey, let's go into the haunted mansion. I heard the witch Beatrice is in there. Like, his head would get blown smooth off as they're walking in.
Yeah, definitely. Jessica, Aunt Natsui, stay here. When Anaki and I tried to dash out, Aunt Natsui stopped us, and also the door.
Hold it. I cannot let you go alone. Now we're going to
Take
property.
this, and then she hands them the gun.
I will go too. So only Jessica will be here? What the heck?
And Jessica's into that.
Jessica, wait here.
Oh, let's all be the only one left out. Nice try, but I'm going too.
Stay there with Ben. Told yourself.
Yeah, Ben's gonna be useless anyway. Yeah, it might be better that way. If the goal of that phone call was to split us up further, it wouldn't be a good idea to leave someone to watch this room.
There's no time to argue. Let's all go. Literally, it's like, everybody, hey, what if we all just go into a room where Beatrice can't get us? Beatrice calls them, can you please exit the room? Everybody obediently leaves. That's how it is.
Well, they have a gun. You think about that.
Huh?
They have a gun.
Oh, that's true. But I mean, Beatrice put a man into a furnace.
Well, yeah, but that man didn't have a gun.
What do you mean? He's the owner of the gun. He has a loaded gun.
No, because he left the room without the gun.
Even if
He like
did
heard
have a gun.
Beatrice's voice, and he was like, Beatrice!
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if
And then
he
he
did
ran
have his
out there.
gun on him, he would like throw it out to the ground, fall to his knees as Beatrice appears before him.
Yeah. Way to go, Mom. Aunt Natsui raised the rifle high and took the lead. I couldn't go unarmed myself.
He got an X for himself.
I found a 3-pronged candle stand and readied it.
Oh, the classic.
Dude, there's a
candle
kitchen in the very room. Go grab a knife.
No, you
stand. Well,
don't
this
need
guy
a
probably
knife.
only has sports.
Where's IZ?
Oh, IZ? Is it like the very, very, very top left of the map?
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, it's a candle stand that stabs the candle, not that sits on it.
That's not nice.
Although the pins on it were used to fit candles were short, it was almost like a 3-pronged spear. He has a trident? Oh, that's so real.
I love Trident.
Yeah, now you're
I
quiet.
love Neptune. Neptune's a cool god.
When I was in the baller house, my door made that same noise.
Then the four of us left the study.
Sorry.
Bless.
We left the study, which should have been the safest place inside the mansion. By doing this, we had been lured out, even though we had barricaded ourselves in a safe, closed room. And perhaps we were doing exactly the same thing Grandfather had done when he disappeared from that room.
Maria! Where are
Where
you?
art thou?
Answer me!
I listened closely but didn't hear anything. The mansion was vast, and since the passing typhoon was making its last stand, the sound of the rain was even noisier than before.
They're literally gonna... They're gonna like walk out into the hall and just see this.
It's true.
Maria-chan said she wanted to watch One Piece in the parlor, right? Let's try going downstairs. That's right. Let's try there. Everyone, be mindful of your surroundings.
Yeah. Yeah!
Yeah, you just read my mind.
With Aunt Natsui in the center, her rifle readied and her finger on the trigger.
Uh-oh, that's improper gun safety.
Yeah, we moved in a group, our backs together, checking our surroundings in all directions. Oh, so real. They're doing like the bullet tornado, but they only have one gun.
Uh-huh.
It was just as though the magic of that magic circle designed to spread discord had worked. We had split up, and furthermore, had been dragged out into dangerous territory. In other words, even now, we were doing just what the culprit wanted us to do. This was a separate world where it wouldn't be odd for anything to suddenly occur. Aunt Natsui nervously pointed the barrel of the gun at every dark spot and shadow. It felt like that motion was out of fear rather than caution. But the rifle she held in her hand should have been a trump card that the culprit feared.
You know, I've been thinking. It wouldn't be impossible to stick one of those ice picks into someone's chest, like in Cannon Gun's case. But splitting the skull and sticking them into the forehead, like in my parents' case, wouldn't be that easy.
Do you think the culprit had that kind of animal strength?
They probably had some kind of weapon. A device that can shoot or pound in those ice picks. That handle was too short to be driven in that deeply by a human strength alone.
She has an ice pick gun.
Either way, they have enough force to break through a skull. I heard Cannon's wound reach as far as his lungs. It's not very far. If you happen to see your opponent, don't go forwards. You just have to go past the ribs.
Go sideways.
mustn't move away from my back.
Just how sinister and frightening was the weapon that could shoot those creepy ice picks? Could I do anything to combat it? Just this candle stand in my hand?
It's the long and slender fingers that constantly grip a 7-Eleven hot dog.
In the first murder, the culprit probably assaulted all 4 of her parents at once as they discussed the inheritance problem in the dining hall. And there were 4 of us here now. Apparently, I wasn't the only person thinking this. George Aniki, Jessica, and of course Aunt Natsui were stretching their senses to the utmost limit, in the highest and worst state of tension, slowly advancing one step, then another. What have we done? Because of the seeds of doubt spread by that one letter, we threw Maria and the rest into the middle of this terrifying world. We finally reached the first floor. The parlor was just across the hall. When we listened carefully, we could hear it faintly. Maria's eerie singing voice. She wasn't singing naturally, as though she were in a good mood. She was singing mechanically, like she was at a graduation ceremony and she'd been ordered to. The song she sang was just a common folk song, one that everyone has probably sung in school at one time or another. But why that, in the middle of the night, alone, with all her heart over and over? Why? Right after leaving the study, we had called out in loud voices, asking Maria where she was. But this time, no one said even a single word. We hid our breath at the sound of our footsteps and intensely focused on our surroundings, to the point of being completely high-strung when we stepped forward. The door to the parlor was closed. We could hear Maria's singing voice through it. Aunt Natsui put her hand on the handle of the doorknob when George Aniki stopped her.
I'll open the door. Natsui, Madeline, ready your weapons. Understood. Take care.
They might attack us as soon as we open it. George Nisan, watch yourself.
Sure. Then I'll open it.
He tried to open it, but immediately felt the hard resistance of the lock. Aunt Natsui took the bundle of keys from her pocket and gave them to George. There were about 10 keys, and none of us had any clue which was which. Because of this, George had to fumble around loudly and test several of the keys. What an idiot. Since we had hidden our footsteps, preparing to make a surprise attack on the room, this felt almost fatal. The whole time, we could hear Maria's voice from the parlor singing the same song over and over. It was like a broken, crazy cassette tape. We'd been in that room almost constantly since morning. All the frightening things had occurred outside that room. That had left us with the impression that only this room was safe. That baseless impression was quickly falling apart.
It's open. Thank you. George-kun, Jessica, move behind me.
Aunt Natsumi. Let's jump in at the same time and split up in different directions. If we just stand around after opening the door, those ice picks might fly right through the center.
I agree. Ready?
I really wish I could say no. I readied myself. If they're gonna be throwing ice picks, I'll whack them with this candle stand.
Go!
Aunt Natsui and I rammed into the door before flying into the parlor, quickly splitting up left and right and searching the parlor for someone who might be waiting for us. But what our eyes landed upon was an incredibly strange sight. The parlor was stained with blood. This place where we spent almost the entire day, where we pressed in together to protect ourselves from some unknown malice, had been stained with fresh blood, had become an ocean of blood.
What do you want, Malika?
Look at Jake.
On the floor lay Genji-san,
It's never a good sign.
Umasawa-san, and Dr. Nanjo, their entire bodies stained a bright red with the blood.
What did they do to Sasuke?
But the only way we could identify them was by their
Art
clothes.
metal, bro. Come on. You gotta at least mimic it.
Wait, what?
You gotta at least try to mimic the art style. Don't slap your own onto it.
No. Dustman, get done for.
That's when this is like not kill them. Not kill them. They are innocent. Give them the life. Great chapter.
Oh yeah, well, what does theirs say now?
What is red here?
True. At the seventh twilight, gouge the knee and kill. Gouge the stomach and kill. Gouge the leg and kill. And that was because, that's right. This is how the whole tragedy started. Their faces, just like our smashed up parents in the shed, you couldn't tell where their eyes stopped and their noses began. It was as though they'd been. It was as though they'd rudely plunged their faces into tomato pot pies, all squished up. And that wasn't all. Their bodies had other wounds. It was those demon ice picks. They were in Genji-san's stomach, Dr. Nanjo's thigh, no, his knee? That's right, of course it's his knee. In the epitaph, the sixth twilight was the stomach, and on the 7th twilight, the knee was gouged. So after seeing one of them stuck near Kumasawa Godgon's calf, couldn't help masochistically laughing. That's right. On the 6th twilight, gouge the stomach and kill. On the 7th twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the 8th twilight, gouge the leg and kill. Now even the 8th twilight is over. And the next one, the 9th twilight, what was it again? Maria was there. She was facing the wall in the inner part of the room, standing stock still, completely alone. She faced away from this horrible scene, standing by the wall, singing her song over and over. There was nothing else in the room. As the corpses of the three who had been brutally killed and the phone receiver, which was still off its hook, proving that this was the room the call had come from. Krista and Maria, her back to the scene as she kept on singing while facing the wall.
Hello? Yeah, so... yeah, let me finish this signal thing. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh, we could only stare, shocked, with our mouths hanging loosely open. Jessica coiled to her, but Maria showed no reaction. Alone, she kept singing on and on. He had come here, trying to save Maria from some approaching danger. And now that he had found her, he should have been running up to Maria, hugging her, joyous that she was safe. And yet not one of us could do that. Everyone thought it, but they couldn't say it. After all, because that's right. Even if that's crazy, no, it couldn't be.
Maria, stop singing. Are you listening?
At some point, Aunt Matui and I had pointed our weapons at Maria's back. I yelled at Maria in a violent voice, but there was no reaction. He just kept singing. With the candle stand still readied, I ran up to her and violently slammed my hand down on her shoulder. Then I pulled on her shoulder, forcing her to turn around. Maria's small body was quickly pulled down and fell. And, as though unhappy at having her singing interrupted, Maria looked into my face with her usual expression. Even in this gruesome situation, she was just like normal. Maria, what is this? Who did it?
Beatrice.
Cut that crap. I threw the candlestick I'd been holding against the wall. The violence of that reckless sound should have gone straight into Maria's heart. But Maria's expression didn't change at all.
Quit it, bad luck. Maria-chan, this time you should have seen the face of the culprit who killed these three. Was the culprit the same Beatrice who gave me the letter? Oh, Beatrice.
Well, in that case, it's certain. There is a 19th person. Beatrice does exist. And, Maria, will you at least tell me this much? How did they kill these three people? What did they use to kill them in such a brutal way?
I don't know.
Do not know.
He's coping so hard.
It happened in this room. Are you trying to tell me you were so absorbed in singing that you didn't notice?
Calm down, bad luck, honey. I'm here, Chad. Talk to me.
George Aniki, as he always did, crouched down next to Maria so that their eyes met and talked to her very kindly.
Maria-chan, why are you facing the wall and singing? Bro, Maria's gonna blow his head smooth off. She'll like flick it off like a booger. Beatrice said to face the wall and keep singing for a long time. So did Beatrice come here? Are Genji-san and the rest still alive? Everyone came into the parlor together and sat down. Genji-san made sure to lock the door.
It was locked when we got here. But then, How did Beatrice get into the parlor?
Dude, Beatrice is a witch, so locks don't matter. She turned into butterflies and came in through the crack in the door.
Huh? Calmly joking at a time like this? Like hell that happened.
He just doesn't believe it.
What are you saying?
It's like, will sure be a battler when Beatrice turns into a butterflies and goes into the cracks. You can't believe it. That's why I didn't want to say it. No matter how I say it, you won't believe it. But Beatrice is a witch. She can do anything with her miraculous magic. That's why Beatrice doesn't care whether her door's locked or not. And then, after Beatrice appeared, what happened to everyone? Beatrice talked to us. She said grandfather's study was protected by a powerful force, and she couldn't enter no matter what she did. So she told us she'd select 3 sacrifices from the 4 people in the party. Everyone said no way. Kumasawa-san kept saying no way, no way, but Beatrice chose. And when she did, Beatrice said I'd be fine. Why do you think? It's because of the scorpion charm with the 5th magic circle of Mars. The one Battler used to pray for my safety, the one he put his feelings into. Because of that power, Beatrice couldn't do anything to me and me alone. So she decided to use the other 3 as sacrifices. After that, Beatrice spoke. My name is Marie. Come face the wall and sing a song for me. You will sing lots and lots of songs, no matter what happens, no matter what you hear. You won't hear, you won't hear, you won't know. Come, sing lots of songs for me. So I was singing the whole time, over and over. So I didn't hear anything, I didn't know anything. And then all of you came.
Are you asking us to believe that? You think we're stupid?
Then who will you suspect this time? Will you suspect me?
Yes.
You're gonna try killing me right here?
Yes.
Even if you do that, Beatrice won't stop existing. Now the 8th twilight is over. Beatrice will revive.
Are you serious? I've had enough of that talk. As if witches could exist. As if I'd let myself get tricked. I won't accept it. Beatrice doesn't exist. I definitely won't accept it. So I won't let her exist. I won't let her revive. The legend will remain a legend forever. I won't acknowledge something like that. It's not like Maria killed them or let them die. She did let them die. Beatrice came and Maria had to obey. Was unable to resist.
What the heck? She thinks that Maria is her or something. Like, Maria could have pulled her Glock 17 out of her backpack.
Yeah, she was like invincible with the charm. So like she definitely could have done something.
Yeah, she could have snapped her neck. Huh. Aunt Natsuki?
Yeah, she hasn't said a thing.
She isn't here.
Where did she go? Go. Huh? Huh? Mom? Where did she go?
Just now, she left by herself, reading a letter.
A letter? That makes sense. The culprit must be so exhilarated now that we've reached the 8th twilight. They must have left a letter so that they could brag even more. We were so wrapped up in questioning Maria that we forgot to look for a letter. But even as well-armed as she was, why had she left the room by herself in this dangerous mansion after reading it? It was probably, sacrifice yourself or I'll kill everybody here. And then obviously she left. Right, I mean, yeah, I guess.
No, that's what
Jessica,
I was gonna say. Like, why would she leave Jessica alone? Mainly, she doesn't care about the others.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
Jessica. Kind of
Well, no, she
weird.
cares about the others.
Not as much though.
I mean, yeah, not as much, but like, it's like Jessica first, and then like other children, and then like the servants. I think she would just like, she would like kneecap the servants if necessary.
I mean, yeah, I'd be a
Jessica tried to chase after her and tugged at the handle to the door, but it resisted strangely and wouldn't open. Mom, what's going on? Bum, 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 bum. Open up! Open up!
What's going on?
Bum, 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 bum. It was only natural. Matsui had picked up the candle stand, which Badler had thrown at the wall, and which had fallen to the floor.
I thought it would commonly stick itself into the wall, like bang.
She had then skillfully wedged it between the doorknobs on the double doors like a bolt, holding them closed. The intricate design of the candle stand caused it to get caught solidly, and it really did make a sturdy seal on the door. The tragic scream of a daughter for her mother. Did it reach Natsui's ears or not? It doesn't matter anyway. Badler's gonna like transform into 100 golden butterflies and they like slip through the door.
Badler.
Now that's just gonna happen. He's gonna be like, he's gonna vehemently deny magic existing so much, he just like is able to use magic. Natsui's figure was alone in the entrance hall. It was the place decorated by the portrait of Beatrice. Natsui threw down Beatrice's last letter, the one she had read in the parlor.
What's she gonna do? Shoot the painting? She just got tired.
But yeah, I guess if she's gonna revive, then if she would revive through there, she can just like spawn camp. Spawn camper.
That's true. It's like she's just walking out the painting and gets shot immediately.
Exactly. Readied her rifle again, and in a voice that rang clear, yelled in the massive space that was the entrance hall.
I am Ushiramiya Natsui, representative of the Ushiramiya family. Show yourself, Golden Witch Beatrice.
The entrance hall was dimly lit. Other than a faint light which shone on the center of the room, everything was blotted out by the jet black darkness. In that darkness, butterflies glittering in gold squirmed, twinkled, and sneered. Natsui gave one more huge gulp and pointed the cold barrel of the gun at the gold butterflies.
So you have finally shown yourself. I still can't believe something like you really exists. But that isn't a problem. Both I, who bear the title of representative of the Ushiramiya family, and you who claim to succeed the headship of the Ushiramiya family, are here right now. At this point, whether you are a witch or not is a trivial matter. Come, let us settle this. Which of us will truly succeed the Ushiramiya family? I, Ushiramiya Natsui, or you, Beatrice? Allow me to respectfully accept your request for a duel.
Gold butterflies slowly formed a human shape, which walked into the dim light. Natsui readied the rifle and glared. The witch raised her golden staff overhead and laughed. Natsui's finger slowly squeezed the trigger. And go! Adler made an all-out dash at the door and rammed into it, crushing the candle stand that had been barring it, and making it possible for a big gap to be opened in the door. He kept kicking the candle stand through that gap, and the door was finally released. At that time, they heard it. They certainly heard the crisp sound of a gunfire ring out once. Mom!
Good evening. Yeah, I know. I know CJ. I'm just trying to think of it, that's all. Just trying not
Yeah, I
to
know.
think about it, that's all.
It's CJ. Hey, Ken.
It's like the best scene so far. It's like the plot has gotten just amazing. And it's like, okay, I guess I got to. I'll cut it off on the climax, okay? I'll cut it off on the climactic moment. Jessica-chan, you mustn't run off by yourself.
Was that the sound of a gun just now? Did Aunt Natsui shoot? At whom? At the culprit. The noise had come from the entrance hall. And the entrance hall looked like a stage. Like the heroine of a tragedy, on the ground and bathed in light. Arrayed in the beauty of that silence. Aunt Natsui lay face up, trampled on the floor. Half crazed, Jessica ran up to Aunt Natsui. On Aunt Natsui's forehead, it was almost as though a sparkling shard of pigeon blood ruby had been placed in it. And from it one stream of blood makeup passed by her eye and began to traverse her face. The faint smell of gunpowder smoke came from the barrel of the rifle Aunt Natsui still grasped. Huh? Then she shot herself in the forehead?
She hit her own pencil off.
Why?
Mom. Yeah.
I don't get it. Why did Aunt Natsui run away alone? And why did she shoot through her own forehead?
Maria-chan, Natsuhi left the room after reading a letter, right? There's no letter here. Dang it, where did Natsuhi read, and why'd she lure her out here?
I don't know. Who cares about that? What the hell? Why did she kill herself? Why did she leave me all alone?
Where?
Tried saying like she didn't like her.
Jessica clung to her mother's corpse, crying like a baby.
That does not sound like it.
My body was consumed with an anger I didn't know what to do with, and I snatched the rifle from Aunt Natsui's hand.
You need to kill
That's
himself.
helping me do that. He just shoot himself. I spun around, pointing the barrel of the gun into the darkness on all sides, as though I was pointing a light from a lighthouse trying to find the culprit. George Aniki, even in this situation, was trying to calmly figure something out, but that might have been a fruitless effort. And only Maria was completely indifferent. So was this all supposed to be some kind of predetermined fate? No, that's not it. This is all prelude to a wonderful world. The door to the Golden Land will finally open.
10th twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. And on the 10th twilight, at journey's end, you shall attain to the power of the Golden Land's treasures, once and for the last time. With this, everything is over. Beatrice, congratulations, congratulations. So lead me to the Golden Land you told me of. Right now.
There, all of the dead will be revived, and even lost love will be restored. So, in Maria's eyes, it's just as though all of today's tragedies didn't happen. It's as though all the time she spent deprived of love never happened. Stop it! What's so fun? What's to be congratulated? There were 18 people on this island. 14 are dead. Only the 4 of us are left. I'm definitely not gonna die. Until the night is over. No. Until the typhoon passes and the seagulls gather again at the harbor. I'm definitely not gonna die. I'll stay alive. I'll stay alive no matter what.
Give it up, battler. Guns are useless against witches. Survival and all that stuff doesn't matter because it's over. The journey has already ended. See? Look at the clock.
Huh? The clock. Hearing those words, I looked at my wristwatch. Both needles were almost touching near the top. Very soon it will be 12 at night. In other words, 24. Maria, when you think about it, isn't 24 a strange time? It can be called 24, and it can also be called 00. It's the hour at the culmination of the previous day, and at the same time, it's hour 0 as the next day begins. Beatrice!
Beatrice!
Oh, Maria suddenly called out happily and ran towards the darkness. Start blasting! It was almost as though Beatrice was somewhere in that darkness and Maria was running up to her. As Jessica hugged her mother's corpse, as George Aniki stood there confused, I looked down the barrel of the rifle, gazing into the darkness. The space in front of Beatrice's portrait lay in that direction, and the thing Maria was running up to was the portrait's subject. You've got to be kidding me, this is just impossible. Like I'd fall for something like this. Witches don't exist. I won't accept it. Something like you shouldn't exist, because this is a human world. You think I could accept something that's not human? I definitely won't accept it. When I pulled hard on the rifle's lever, the cartridge was ejected, fell on the floor, and a new cartridge was loaded. Then I sighted the witch down the barrel. Maria turned around. Still clinging to the golden witch, she turned around.
Didn't I tell you it was meaningless? Mere lead bullets are meaningless against Beatrice. Humans are so stupid, aren't they?
I won't accept the existence of witches. Who are you? Just try moving one step. Just try moving one finger. I'll blast you away. As the witch... no. The witches laughed. Even the large clock in the hall joined in on their laughter. It was probably telling us that the time was 24:00. It was both a tone telling us that we had reached the culmination of this day, and a tone informing us that all had returned to nothing. The rule that the witch would win when time ran out had already been revealed.
Battler. George, Nichan, and Jessica. The journey has ended, and the witch has revived, see? And none shall be
And
left
none
alive.
shall be left alive. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold from the Golden Land. One shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. One shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch Beatrice. The storm passed, and the leaden clouds that had enshrouded the island for so long cleared away. From the rifts between the clouds, sunbeams shone, and yesterday's storm seemed a lie. Just as someone had wished, the seagulls returned to the harbor once again and let their lively cries be heard. Afterwards, the police came and conducted an investigation of the scene. The corpses of the children, who were thought to have survived until the very end, were never found. However, because of the body parts that were discovered and the unimaginably gruesome nature of the scene, the police were forced to conclude that the chances of survival for any of the 18, even the children, seemed hopelessly dim. Just how gruesome was the banquet of the witch, and how beautiful was the Golden Land. They were the only ones who got to hear that tale. No tales were told to those humans who arrived after the banquet is over. The best they could do was imagine what might have happened during those 2 days. However, the witch was fickle. She made a point of leaving behind this tale, which didn't need to be heard, and it was allowed to spread. Then, many years later, a strange wine bottle that had drifted on the waves to the pier of a neighboring island was pulled out by the fishermen. Inside it was a thin, tightly rolled notebook fragment written upon in cramped small letters. Written there was this tale. Throughout this notebook fragment, people would finally learn the truth of a mysterious and a riddle-filled 2-day period that started on October 4th, 1986. This incident was later called by many names, such as the Roppongi mass murders, or the 18 killings of Roppongi, through Diamonds, to the world, the witch legend, serial murders, lovers of the occult claimed it was the result of an immoral ceremony that sealed off the island. Those 2 mysterious days were savagely embellished with many interpretations of the story began far and wide. However, not one of those interpretations suppressed the truth. Furthermore, while the notebook fragment described this mysterious incident, it does not reveal the truth of what happened there, or perhaps even the writer didn't know what the truth was. According to the writer, her name was Ushiromi Maria. Incidentally, as a result of an all-out police investigation, part of Maria's body, a piece of her jaw, was discovered. It was one of the rare instances where a corpse was identified thanks to dental records. In that gruesome scene, there had been many body parts that couldn't be identified as belonging to any specific person, so it's probably fair to say that this jaw was an extremely fortunate find. Because this jaw had been separated from his body, the police judged her chances of survival hopelessly dim, even though none of her other body parts were found, or at least not identified. So let us conclude this tale with the final section of the notebook fragment that Ushiromi Maria left behind. By the time you have read this, I will probably be dead, although there may not be a corpse. You who have read this, please find out the truth. That's my only wish. Ushiromi Maria. To this very day, the truth of the witch legend serial murders has not been brought to light. First game. Legend of the Golden Witch result. Kraus died in the first twilight. Rudolph first twilight. Karu first. Rosa first. Shannon first. Goda first. Ava second. Hideyoshi second. Kinzo 4th. Cannon 5th. Benji 6th. Nanjo 7th. Kumasawa 8th. Natsui 9th. The witch Beatrice survived on the 9th. George missing on the 10th. Jessica missing on the 10th. Maria missing on the 10th. Oh, but they acknowledged the existence of Valor missing on the 10th twilight. Will the witch invite this man who denied her existence to the Golden Land? The witch will praise the wise and should bestow 4 treasures in the Golden Land. There they chose to revive the souls of the dead and the love that had been lost. After all, no matter how large a mountain of gold the men have desired, it would have been out of their grasp. George chose his lost fiancé. Jessica chose the boy she had liked the most. Maria chose the lost love of her mother. Sleep peacefully, Beatrice. Let nothing disturb your slumber ever again. The winner is the Golden Witch Beatrice. Time ran out before even one of the 18 people could solve the riddle of the gold. All 18 died. When the seagulls cried, none were left alive. Addition of new features. The Golden Witch has prepared a gift for you in commemoration of your stay. You can find these new features on the title screen. Alright, but my question is how did Maria fit the contents of an entire notebook into a bottle? Oh, the tea party. Go to the tea party. Come on.
There's a party in my tummy.
No, I was gonna do that too. Purgatorio.
Good night, YB gang.
Hey everyone, congrats for finishing Umineko
No,
no
wait,
Kuro.
I'm out of here.
What do you mean you're out of here?
Wow.